Hello and welcome to my channel, Talisman Tarot. In this reading I want to ask the cards and Spirit directly through channeling about what's blocking you, what's your blockage, what's blocking you from achieving success, what's blocking you from achieving your goal in life. And I have 7 groups here that you can choose from. This will be group number 1. This will be group number 2, this will be group number 3, this will be group number 4, this will be group number 5, this will be group number 6, and this will be group number 7. And so I will ask you to use your intuition and choose the group that speaks to you the most, the group that catches your eye, and that group will be your group. And if you need any more time to choose, you can always just pause the video. But if you don't need any more time, I'll just move on to the reading. Hello group number 1, you chose the Alcohol Tarot. So I don't want to jump to any conclusion on that one, but it could be that, well, you asked about what's blocking you and you chose the Alcohol Tarot, so maybe cut down on the alcohol, but I don't want to jump to any conclusions. Sometimes things appear a certain way, but it's not necessarily the actual problem, and so I don't want to. Yeah, I don't. It's too quick to jump to any conclusions. So first of all, I want to do some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So, okay, group number 1. What's blocking group number 1 from achieving success? It seems as if there's something about identity here. Something about finding your true identity. Maybe some of you haven't quite figured out who you are, what you want in life, and so achieving the success you want is maybe not the main goal that you should be following, because it can be deceitful. It can sometimes we believe that we have a goal. We believe that our life is heading a direction that we believe is the right direction for us, but sometimes it might not be. Sometimes it's something completely different than we thought it was. Sometimes we're looking for answers in places that don't actually have the answers. Sometimes I'm just getting a feeling here that you are on the wrong path and you're frustrated that you're not achieving the success that you want in this path, but really you're on the wrong path, and so obviously the answer is not there, and that's also the reason why it's so hard. I'm getting this image in my head of you just running and running and running, and you're not going anywhere. Like you're not moving forward, even though you put so much effort into moving forward, but you're just stuck. And it makes me think that you need to rethink the goal that you've set for yourself. You might need to change your direction, but mostly I just feel like you need some introspection. You need to go within. That's also like the card on this deck here, even though this deck is called the alcohol deck, it doesn't have to have anything to do with alcohol, and usually it don't. Usually it doesn't have anything to do with alcohol. It's mostly that people, like subconsciously, people are drawn to the imagery because it reminds them of the hermit, and so I think you might have chosen this deck because you're in need of introspection. You're in need of some kind of hermit period in your life because right now I think you are struggling on the path that you've chosen, and every time we struggle on a chosen path, it's kind of it's kind of a sign that maybe we're not on the right path, because when we are actually on the right path, one of the signs that show us that we are on the right path is that it becomes so much easier for us. We find ourselves in a situation that we've never been in before, this situation of easiness, like where everything just falls into place, where everything is just like it even sometimes seems a bit like it makes us uneasy how easy it actually is. Like we have this belief that everything has to be hard, that when we follow our goal and like the path towards our goal has to be, or towards the gold, like gold, but like the treasure, like the treasure on the other end of the rainbow, like the path towards that, like it makes us uneasy if it's not difficult, because we want it to be difficult. We want because if it's not difficult, what do we have to show for it afterwards? Like it has to be some kind of battle. It has to be some kind of trial in order for us to believe that we are on the right path. But I think sometimes we end up overcomplicating things, and maybe sometimes we need to search for the solution that's the least complicated, the one that's easy, the one that's simple, the simple solution. And I feel like what's blocking you from achieving success in life is that you're overcomplicating things and you are searching for difficulty instead of simplicity. You're in a way overcomplicating things, making life harder than it has to be. And in order to achieve success, you might have to let go of control. That's also like searching for difficulty is also a sign of control, like a sign of needing control in life, like being a bit of a control freak, having to work for everything, and needing to be the person working in order to feel like you're in control of the situation, and sometimes letting go and just seeing how things just unfold without any effort could be a good it could be a good relief for you. It could be maybe an assignment that you can try out, just seeing how the universe just unfolds on its own without you having to constantly work it. sometimes the universe works in your favor even without you having to do anything. And maybe sometimes we need to just accept that, even though it's hard to do, because that means that we need to let go of our control, because we're of course not in control of the situation. If we just allow the situation to unfold on its own, then we're not in control over it. But I think the success is there. The success in your life, if you want it, you need to let go of control. You need to allow it to unfold on its own, and you need to also I'm getting that you also need to allow other people to help you gain control, not gain control, gain success, or gain control, like giving other people control over your life. That's maybe also an assignment that you can try out and delegate the workload and give other people control over certain parts of your life. Letting everything be in the hands of other people. But I want to shuffle the cards. So what's blocking group number 1? So I don't want to show you this card because it's really disgusting. I'm going to show it to you like really quickly so that you can like, yeah. So it's someone throwing up in a toilet. It's a really, it's a disgusting card. It always comes up, like it's the only card in the deck that's repulsive, but for some reason it always comes up. Yeah, the irony. But it's a reason why I don't want to use this deck. But it's okay. So this this kind of makes me think, like when we throw up. This is like a card because this is the alcohol deck. It's the Hanged Man, and it's kind of symbolic of like letting go in a way. Because throwing up after a night out is kind of like the last. It's also a bit of a. It kind of makes me think of getting back some of the control, because, like, of course, throwing up is a lack of control, but sometimes it's actually a way to gain back the control. Like if you're really drunk and you're out drinking, and like then throwing up on purpose is a way to try to gain back the control. And so I am getting that you're kind of holding on to like the last thing that makes you feel in control. I feel like there is something in your life, for some of you maybe. I think there's something where it's you lost control over it. Something happened, and you might have dropped out of school. You might have lost your job. You might have lost something, and you might have felt like you lost control over it. It's maybe it was a decision that you made, but you made it out of a lack of control over it. Like you, like if you dropped out of school, it probably was a power play in a way where you knew you were about to be kicked out of school, so you dropped out like right before, just to gain back some of the control. Maybe for some of you, I don't think it's for all of you, but there is something about gaining back control, and I think you are focusing a lot of your energy on gaining back control over something that you lost. And I get that. I think we all do. I think we all have had times where we couldn't really accept that we lost something, and so we try really hard to gain back control over it. But I am getting this feeling that in this fight to get back the control, you're kind of blocking yourself from achieving success somewhere else. Like, you're holding on to the past, you're holding on to something, you're trying to gain control over something that you lost, instead of just trying to build something new. And I think the main message here is that maybe you need to just allow that thing from the past, the thing that you lost control over, the thing that got lost from you, just leave it in the past and start something new. And that way, in that way, you can gain back success. You can achieve success in another field, in another way. Because maybe it's better to just leave that chapter closed, because it's not leading you anywhere. There was a reason why it was closed, and it was either divine intervention, or like if you dropped it, like if you dropped out of school, or if you chose to leave a job or something. There was a reason why you did that. And so getting it back will not necessarily give you any. It might not make you happy to get it back. This could also have something to do with love. Like, there might be a relationship from the past that you keep holding on to, that you just need to let go of. And start something new, make a profile on Tinder and just go get back in the dating game, and see if you can find it somewhere else, because it's not going to make you happy to get back. Okay, so I am getting that Queen of Wands, or I think Queen of Spears is Queen of Wands. I think you have some kind of you need to I think you need to I think you are a bit too calculated in your decisions. You overthink too much. You think too much about the negative, like the worst case scenarios. You weigh out the pros and cons whenever you have to make a decision, and it's always like the cons list is a lot longer than the pros list. And sometimes, like, I'm just getting that you need to be more optimistic, try to see opportunities, instead of like, try to just see the positive instead of the negative. And also, like, there is something about maybe you used to like, I am getting this strong feeling that there's something in the past that you are kind of holding on to, something that you want to resurrect, something that you want to get back, and you're I'm getting this feeling that you're idolizing it in your head. Maybe like your memory of it might be a bit. It might not add up with reality. Like maybe it's not as good as you remember it, and so maybe you need to follow your intuition more, and like overthinking is kind of the very thing that kills the pure intuition. It's when we overthink things, and maybe try to make some, like, try to stop overthinking, try to be more impulsive, spontaneous, make decision like in the moment, instead of overthinking it. Don't take too much time to make a decision. Like if there's something where you have a deadline, something that like a decision that has to be made on a date, like one date where you have to make one decision, or else like or else like the thing won't, like a deadline for some kind of application for something, or something like that. Maybe instead of taking a lot of days to really make a calculated decision, maybe just wait until like the last moment and just try to get it out of your head until the last moment, and just see, like, in the heat of it all, what are you going to choose? Are you going to apply, or are you not going to apply? Like, try to make the decision as rash as possible, because I think you might be the type of person who makes the best decisions under pressure, and maybe you also work really well when you procrastinate a decision, and maybe you do procrastinate a lot in your life, mostly because you know that when you do that, you make the best decisions. And so it could be like a subconscious thing that you do, like you push things to the very to the very limit, like you push things to the to like hours before the deadline, because then you know you're about to make the right decision, because you know that overthinking it will ruin it. So I am getting something about I'm not completely sure about what. I'll just pause the video for a second. Okay, I didn't actually have to pause it, because like I was just a bit concerned that I had it mixed up. But yeah, the beers are wands and the lagers are cups. So okay, the Queen of Wands, 5 of Wands, and 4 of Cups. So they're 7 of Cups. Okay, there is what's blocking you with the 5 of Wands. I am getting that there is a conflict here, a conflict of interest here, and it's probably a conflict that you have with yourself. I think you are kind of conflicted about what you want, and that's the reason why you need to do some introspection. You need to find out what you actually want, because right now I think you are getting pulled in 2 different directions, and you need to make a decision what's really important for you, what will make you happy. And it's a hard decision because I think like the one decision, like the one path, there's two paths here. I think one is more of a passion of yours, something that you want to do, but you don't really see how there's any future in it. And the other path is something very realistic, something that you can see unfold itself in front of you, like you can visualize this happening in the future. It's very realistic, it's very easy to it's very easy to visualize, and it's also very safe and secure and known to you. It's not very unknown, and it's the least risky of these two options. And I think what's blocking you here is that is yourself. Like you know what you really want. You know which of these options you really want you know what to choose. It's this one. You want to choose the passion, the thing that you're passionate about, the thing that's unknown, risky, the thing that that frightens you a bit, but also gives you butterflies in the stomach. And like it's that thing that you really want to choose, but you're conflicted because, like all of us, we want to be secure. We want to have a more secure life, and with the Four of Cups, I think you have already said no to this. Or for some of you, I feel like you already have let go of this dream of this passion project. And so it seems that for some of you, you've already chosen the secure thing, and that might be what is causing some of you to have troubles, because you're not achieving the success that you want, because you've chosen to go down a path that you actually don't want. And so you're not achieving success in that path because it's not really your path. Your path is a different path, and you've let go of it. So you might have to rethink what decision you made, and maybe choose this instead. Choose the passion project instead. And like, you can always go back to the secure choice, because there is a reason why it's secure. It's because it's going to be there forever. It's not going anywhere. That's the security of it. And so leaving that behind to try to do something risky will not actually, like, you will not be losing anything from doing that, because it will still be there if the passion project, if that doesn't if you don't succeed at it, at doing that, then you can always go back. But I think, like, if you don't at least try out this passion project, then you will be sorry about it forever. Like, you will always have that in the back of your mind, like in the future, that like, what would have happened if you had tried that out, and so I think you need to try it just to see if you can get success out of it. And it's not like you might not, and it's also like 1 in a million. Like sometimes we have a passion project and we really want it to succeed, but we also know that like it's 1 in a million. It's not realistic to believe that it's going to happen, but sometimes it's just to ease ourselves, like just to ease our brain, like in the future, to know that if we tried and didn't succeed, then at least we tried, and then we know for sure in the future that we didn't leave anything behind, like we didn't there's like no stone unturned, like so with the 7 of cups, I think like I said in the beginning, you might be searching for something specific, like you want something, you want to succeed at something, you want to achieve a goal, and you are trying to search for that, and you're trying to go find it, but you won't find it unless it reveals itself to you. Sometimes the search process, searching for something might sometimes get in the way of actually finding what you're looking for, because sometimes we don't know. Sometimes we don't know what we're looking for. Sometimes it's sometimes we can't even picture it in our head, because we don't know the future. We don't know what it's a mystery to all of us. It's unknown, and so sometimes when we have an idea of what we want to achieve in the future, sometimes that idea that we have can sometimes get in the way of actually getting the revelation that we need. Like sometimes the universe or whatever will give us signs, and it will show us the way. And if we are very focused on one path, that we don't, like we have tunnel vision, we only see that one path, then we close the door for actually getting any signs and hints towards a different path. Like and so it's all about being open to seeing how we might have a different path, a path that we haven't thought of before, and allowing it to reveal itself to us, and allowing ourselves to see that opportunity, and following it, even though it doesn't completely, even though it doesn't make sense in terms of what picture we already had in our head of what we want to do. And so I think what's blocking you is that you, like I said in the beginning, you need to let go of the control. A way to control your future is to plan it out and have like this plan, and this is what I want to do, and then just following it. That's the control freak way to live, in a way. But allowing ourselves to just leave the control behind and just say, okay, I have a vague plan of what I want to do, but it can be changed if something else comes up. And that will allow us to see some opportunities, to see how maybe there are different paths for us that are more fitting than the one we have planned out in our head. So it's all about seeing new opportunities and not allowing old opportunities to get in the way of the new ones. And also locking down the chapters, like the past chapters, things that haven't worked out in the past, locking them down and just moving forward, like burning that bridge so that we won't let the past get in the way of the future, getting away of opportunities getting into our lives. And so, yeah. I know this reading was a bit vague, and I know it's, yeah, but that's all I have for you, group number 1. I hope it made sense to some of you, and if it did, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 2. You chose this Rider-Waite tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So, okay, group number 2. Group number 2. What's blocking you, group number 2, from achieving success? What's blocking group number 2 from achieving success? I am getting something about how nothing is really, I'm getting that nothing is actually, like, I don't think you have any blockages. I think you are on the right path. You're like, there's nothing you do that's blocking you. Like, you're not, I think you're quite self-aware of your, like, and you see yourself in a very realistic way. Like, you're very much in alignment with your true self in the way that, like, the picture that you have of yourself in your mind is very much in alignment with the picture that other people have of you. Like, like, there's no, it doesn't seem as if there's any delusions. Like, you're not, you don't have, it doesn't seem as if you have any self-esteem issues. You're, like, most of you are very well aware of your talents and your gifts, and maybe you have a bit of, maybe you have an issue getting your message across to people. Like, maybe, like, I think most of you know that you are very capable, and but maybe some of you have a hard time convincing other people that you're capable. Maybe some of you are a bit too humble in your way. Like, you might not, you might have difficulties bragging about yourself. Like, maybe it makes you uncomfortable to brag, and And so I think maybe you have a hard time selling yourself to others and making it known to others that you're a valuable asset or something like that. But it's not like, but it's not a low self-esteem issue, because I do feel as if like you already know what you're capable of. So it's not like you're selling yourself short because you believe that you're not worth more than you're selling yourself for. I think you're very much you already know that. You already know that you're selling yourself a bit short. And I think it frustrates you that you have this humility, you have this like you're a very soft person, you're very soft spoken, you're also like, I'm getting that like you're very cute. I know that sounds very demeaning or whatever, but I don't mean it that way. Like I just get this feeling that you're very cute, and other people pick up on that and see you. Oh, she or he is like very cute, a very cute person, very cute personality, very humble, very soft, very caring, and that might make some people underestimate you for some reason. But I think like so like I think that could be a blockage. Like it could be something that is blocking you from achieving success, is that you're maybe a bit too nice. Like maybe some of you are in a field where you need to be a bit more cutthroat, like you need to be a bit more like you need to force your way through in order to be recognized, and that means that you need to maybe hurt some people in order to get in order to achieve your goal. Is like you need to leave some people behind, and you need to like I'm just getting that maybe your kindness is a bit of a it's maybe your Achilles heel. Like it's it might be the blockage is that you're maybe a bit too afraid of forcing your way through and like making yourself known, and like taking the spotlight from other people, and maybe you're too kind to do that. Maybe you're the type who allows other people to speak, like and you don't interrupt people while they are speaking, because you would consider that to be rude, and it is rude. But in some fields you have to do that. You have to take the lead. You have to take the you have to take the attention, and that sometimes means that you need to interrupt some people and step on their toes, and with the moon here, I think you have a very good conscience, which is a good thing. Like you have I'm getting this feeling that you're the type who wouldn't sleep at night if you had done someone wrong. Like if you had said something to someone or said something about someone that led that person to be I just get this feeling that you're afraid of stepping on people's toes, and like if you do that, it will haunt you. It will make you. It will give you sleepless nights, and you worry too much about people's feelings, and that's a good thing. Again, it's a good thing to worry about people's feelings. It's what makes you human. It's a very, very good personality trait, and so I would never recommend you to let go of that, but maybe channel it into something different, because if what I've said now, if it resonates with you, if you're in some kind of field where you have to step on other people's toes to get forward in the field, like to get recognition, then maybe it's not the right field for you. Maybe you need to choose a different path, a path where it's actually where you get recognition for being a good person, for having a conscience, for caring about people, and where those values are valued. So there is something about maybe you're not in the right field. But what's blocking group number 2 from achieving success? There's also something about your I'm getting that you might have been used as a doormat in the past. Like some people might have come to you for help, where you've been more than willing to help them because that's in your nature. You're a very helpful person. You don't see any problem with helping people, like, and you probably also enjoy helping people. But some people might have taken advantage of it in the past, where they've just come to you for help and then just in a way using you, and never actually, and maybe they never planned to help you back, like give you anything back. So maybe you've trusted some people with your help and your kindness, and maybe it wasn't reciprocated, like maybe, and so maybe what's blocking you from achieving success is also that you help others achieve their success, which is a good thing. Again, is a very noble thing to do, but maybe while you are helping other people achieve their success, you might be neglecting your own success, and maybe you are moving further and further away from your goal, because you're helping other people achieve their goal. And so there is something about maybe what's blocking you is your selflessness, your self-sacrificing. And maybe you need to focus on yourself. 10 of Cups. There is something about a treaty. Maybe you have maybe you've made some kind of commitment to something, and it's a bit too much, and you need to step away from that because it's taking too much of your time and energy and effort, and it is not going to give you anything in the end. It seems as if there is something, maybe you signed up for something, some extra work or extra curriculum, extra something extra, something that you didn't have to sign up for, but maybe some people kind of talked you into signing up for it, or something like that, and so you did, and there is, and like I think it's blocking you that you've started this commitment, and I think you need to step back from it in order to have time for what's important. It's all about priorities here. I think you need to prioritize what's important for you, and so maybe canceling on this thing could be a good idea, because it will take up too much of your time. And if it's something like extra work or extra curriculum, then you might have signed up for it because you thought that it would benefit you in the end. But I'm getting this feeling that it won't, that it will be more trouble than it's worth. So reconsider that, and maybe think about maybe signing off on that. So what's blocking group number 2 from achieving success? The Chariot. So there is something here about you allowing other people to have too much of a it just, like, you can see this wagon here. It's leaded by these two what's it called? I don't remember, but it's my point is that the one in the wagon is not the one in charge of where the wagon is going, and so I'm just getting this feeling that other people might have too much of a say in the course of your life, and you need to gain back control over your life, and don't let other people influence you too much. Don't let other people talk you into doing something that you don't that you really don't want to do. Listen more to yourself. Listen to what you want to do, but also what you are capable of doing, or what you have time for. Like it's okay to say, I don't have the time for this. Like I don't. I need to focus my energy on something else. And I'm just getting this that you're allowing other people to, like you're letting others control you. You're letting other people influence you, and you're letting other people make decisions for you in a way, where you need to take charge over the situation and make and create boundaries for people. Don't let other people just. I think people see you as someone who's just going to say yes to everything, and so people kind of abuse that because like they know you're going to say yes, so they will ask you for the most outrageous things because they know. Maybe there's also some people in your life who's actually testing the limit a bit, where they just keep on coming with like more and more like they keep asking you for more and more just to see how much you will say yes to. Like where's the limit? Like so it's very important that you put up boundaries and like start saying no to people, to start rejecting people, start prioritizing, saying that like this is more important for me than this other thing, and then just being honest to the people, the people in your life, and just say to them like you don't have the time, and so I know like kindness is a really good personality trait, and being helpful and caring to others is something that you shouldn't let go of. Like it's something that I really like. It's a very admirable trait, and so try to hold on to that, but also try to make boundaries for the people who are abusing it, and it can be hard sometimes to really figure out who's really in need and who's just testing the limit, but I don't know. But I'm just getting this feeling that the thing that's blocking you is definitely that you're helping other people, that you're too self-sacrificing, that you need to focus more on yourself and less on other people. And if you don't want to let go of that, and that's your business, like it's your decision, like you are in control over that decision. If you want to achieve your goal, like if you want to achieve success in life, then you will have to be more selfish in order to achieve that. But maybe, like, if that's who you are, then it would also be fine to just embrace that about yourself, and just saying to yourself that you're a saint, you're a good person, you help others achieve their goals, and you do it even though that means that you might not achieve your own goals, and if you're fine with that, then that's really noble. So like like also maybe think of like, do you want to what's more important for you, to be this good saint or to achieve success in life? Like, what's more important to you? Because both things are in a way successful. Like you gain success from being a saint as well, and helping other people achieve success will also help you achieve success, because you're like when we all, like, we are all connected in a way. And so if we embrace the connectivity that we all have, then it will be then we will all realize that other people's success is just as important than our own success, and helping other people achieve their success is the same as achieving our own success. And so helping others is just as much of an achievement than helping ourselves. And if we all do that, if we all help each other achieve success, then other people will help us achieve success, and we will all in a way, like, then we would all create a better world. But of course, in order to do that, we will have to all be in on it and all have that same goal in. Yeah, but yeah. So, but if you want to achieve success on your own, if you want to do that, it's important that you prioritize it, and prioritize yourself and focus on yourself, and do that, like, and become more selfish, even though it might mean that you have to create boundaries for some people in your life. And yeah, but that's all I have for you, group number 2. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 3. You chose these Dark Sun playing cards, and these are just normal playing cards. It's not tarot cards, but there are imagery on each card, and so I use them as tarot cards, and yeah, so I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So, okay, group number 3, what's blocking group number 3? The people who will choose group number 3, what's blocking them from achieving success? Okay, so this is quite specific, but I heard breakfast, and so some of you might be skipping breakfast, which is not a good idea to do. So some of you might be skipping meals, and that might be blocking your success in some way, because you aren't getting the energy that you're supposed to, and it might be draining you, and it might be making you feel unwell. But there could also just be something about nutrition, not taking care of yourself, not taking care of your body, not treating your body as a temple, like, like maybe you need to take more care of your body, listen more to your body's needs. Maybe you're living too much in your head. Maybe you need to reconnect with your body and stop being in your head about everything, and maybe also take a break sometimes. I'm getting this feeling that you're very focused on being productive, and this, like, it's almost as if it's kind of an obsession, that you need to be productive. And I hate to say this, but for some of you, I'm getting this feeling that, like, you're not even being productive. And it's mostly because you are so focused on this idea of being productive that it's actually stressing you so much that you're actually not even being productive. I am getting something about stress here. About I think you need to relax. You need to listen to your body. Eat when you're hungry. Sleep when you're tired. And also don't fill your body up with things that might be causing more stress to your body. And so maybe stop drinking alcohol. If you're doing drugs, stop doing that. But also something like caffeine. Maybe you're drinking too much caffeine, and maybe you should stop doing that. Like, there's just something where, and the thing about caffeine, and both like coffee, energy drinks, but also caffeine pills and stuff like that, it's something that people take to be productive, in order to be productive. This also makes me think of Adderall, the drug, and it's also something people take to be productive. So I'm just getting this feeling that some of you are doing something in order to be more productive, and maybe in doing so you are you're kind of stressing out your body, and so it's kind of counterintuitive. It's not really good it's not really doing you any good, and so maybe focus on okay, this is really bad. It's bad advice, I know. But if some of you are drug addicts, then maybe switch your uppers to downers, because maybe you need to calm down instead of it. Yeah. Okay, so with this card here, Seven of Cups reversed, and it says punk here, and it's reversed, but it's, well, this kind of makes me think of, okay, it's making me think that because here is like in the card, someone here is drinking, and so reversed, maybe you need to quit drinking, but if it's not that, maybe you need to keep. Maybe you need to quit partying. There might be something in your life that's preoccupying your brain. And it seems as if this thing is like there is something, it doesn't have to be an addiction. It doesn't have to be alcohol, drugs. It could be anything. But I am kind of like right now I'm kind of thinking of a different addiction. It kind of makes me think that you are doing, like that some of you might be doing something that is kind of like some other escapism, where maybe you play too much video games, use too much time playing video games, maybe watching too many TV shows, getting caught up in TV shows, watching TV shows only to preoccupy your brain from something else. Maybe it seems as if there is something that you, and it's probably about this success that you want to achieve. There is something about it that you don't want to face. And you want to achieve this success, but a part of you don't want to. And why is that? It seems like I'm just getting that it's kind of this big blind spot where there's something about this the success that you want to achieve, this goal that you want to achieve. There is something about it that is kind of scaring you away, and so you don't want to face it, and so you play video games or watch TV shows or drink or take drugs or do something else entirely just so you don't have to face it. So you and in a way you're creating a problem that's bigger than the problem that's like there is a problem that's keeping you away from achieving this goal. And the problem is probably the goal in itself. The fact that the goal maybe might not actually be something you want when like it's as if you're running towards a goal, but you really don't want it, but you're heading the right direction, and realistically you're very likely to actually achieve this goal. But subconsciously you don't want it. I don't think you want it. I don't. If you had wanted it, if you wanted it to achieve this goal, you would have achieved it by now. Nothing is keeping you from it, besides yourself. So you need to wrestle yourself, and in order to do that, you need to find out like why what's the worst thing that could happen if you achieve this goal. There is something where I feel like it's kind of this thing is kind of deep. It's kind of rooted in some kind of personality, or not personality, identity crisis. Some kind of where I feel like you have set a goal, but it's not in alignment with your identity. It's not. It's maybe even something. It's maybe even something you potentially could be embarrassed about if you actually achieved it. It's kind of like, for instance, if you're like, I'm just going to like say a bunch of examples. I know these are probably not going to resonate with you, but they are just examples. So if you're planning on becoming a YouTuber, then like, and maybe you have already started doing videos on YouTube, and you've maybe already posted some of them, and maybe you've even gotten good feedback and it's going great, but you can't really find the motivation to keep on going because you don't have any respect for YouTubers. And that's like, I don't either, in a way, and I do, but I get it. Like, I don't know if I want to be associated with other YouTubers. I don't know if that's like, I don't know if that's who I am. And maybe you have that same kind of identity crisis where you feel like, well, you're running towards a goal and it's kind of getting more and more realistic every day, and you're, but you need to maybe realize that maybe you don't want to become the person that you're working so hard on becoming. That it's like, at the end of the day, it might not be something you would be proud of. It would be success, and you would maybe make some money out of it, but maybe you wouldn't be proud of it, and maybe that's a sign that maybe you're not on the right path, because maybe you are supposed to do something that you can be proud of instead. Something that you can tell people, and you won't get embarrassed about it when you tell them. Something, so maybe it's not, like, maybe you are hitting yourself over the head, or whatever, how you say that, I don't know. But because maybe this project that you have going on, if it's YouTube or if it's something completely different, I don't know. But maybe it's not going as you had planned, and maybe you feel a bit frustrated about it because you're not achieving the success that you want, or that you think you want. And so you take it personally that maybe you're, and that's also, okay, that's also the thing, is, like, I can relate to this. So I hope this resonates with, or I don't know if I hope that it resonates, but if you choose to become something, if you choose to take a path, like I've done by doing YouTube, I took a decision to become a YouTuber, and I've been doing this for over a year, and it hasn't really led me anywhere. I haven't even I haven't got 1,000 subscribers yet, so it's not really a success. But I also like, I look down on YouTubers. I think in a way, maybe it's because I'm a Virgo. It's kind of this judgmental thing I have. Maybe where I don't have the respect for them. And I know that sounds horrible when I say it out loud, and I know. And I feel kind of bad for feeling this way, but when I look at YouTubers on YouTube, I can't really help but think, like, why are they doing this? Like, are they like hungering for attention? Am I hungering for attention by doing this? Is this some kind of like, is there something wrong with me because I'm on YouTube? Am I doing this just to get like easy validation from other people, where like and but that's the thing, like I've probably in some way, like subconsciously, I've probably tried to ruin this, like sabotage this for myself, because like subconsciously I don't want to be famous on YouTube. I don't want to be like a tarot reader with a lot of subscribers, because I don't, that's not really something I want. I don't really like the attention. Like, I don't know if people have noticed, but like I don't even enjoy looking at the camera. I'm a very private person, and it's this weird thing where I'm doing something where I have my face out, and like every day I look at like YouTube analytics, and like I think of like there's so many, like I've like so many people have, even though I have like very few viewers on my videos, it's still a lot of people who have seen my face, like just by like, even though I'm not a successful YouTuber, it's still a lot of people looking at me at once and judging me, and it kind of yeah, but my point is, when you do something that you don't really respect, and you don't respect other people doing it either, but you're not successful at it, and other people are a lot more successful than you, it kind of like, one thing is to not respect them, but suddenly like the people you don't respect are just so much better at doing it than you are, and and it's kind of this realization that we all have, that okay, I look down on this thing, but I suck at it, and I'm not good at it, and people like thousands of people are much better than I am. And so the thing I put myself, like I look down on these people, but I should have been looking up, because they are like, I'm not capable of doing what they are doing. And so I don't know, but I'm just like, back to you. Sorry for this rant about myself and stuff, but my point is that maybe you're doing something that you don't have respect for, that you can't really picture yourself being successful at, because you're afraid in a way of becoming successful at it, because then if you become successful at it, then that will define you for the rest of your life, and suddenly you are that person. Suddenly you are the YouTuber. Suddenly you are not better than any of the others, and you might have been sabotaging for yourself because you didn't want to become that, and so you've been playing video games, watching TV, doing everything else but creating content or whatever you're doing. I don't think all of you are YouTubers, but whatever you're doing, you might have had a hard time doing it because, like, you've had a hard time getting motivated to do it. And it's probably because you don't really want to do it, and you can't see yourself becoming good at it, and like you're afraid that it will define you if you become good at it, so you suck at it, maybe even subconsciously, and then you feel bad, then you have low self-esteem about it, because now you suddenly suck at the thing that you don't have any respect for. If that makes sense, I don't know. Okay. So with this card here that says shit, and it's 2 of Swords, and I think you're kind of, it's kind of like I think your blockage is that you're sabotaging for yourself, like you're afraid of being good at what you're doing, and you're afraid of giving it like your 100%. Like you're afraid of really going for it and doing the best that you can in order to achieve success in whatever you're doing, because you're afraid of actually achieving success. And so this is also like the thing that some people do before, like when they have exams. Like maybe this has to do with school as well for some of you, where you might be sabotaging in school, like doing, like you're maybe afraid of actually making an effort in school and like doing your homework and going to your exams and doing a good job, because you're afraid that if you actually make an effort, then you'll actually succeed. And maybe there's also this fear of not succeeding, like actually making an effort towards something and not succeeding at it, like going to an exam in school where you've studied a lot before the exam, and then going to the exam and knowing everything and feeling very prepared, and the feeling of not passing the exam after going through all of that. Maybe you're trying to avoid that heartbreak of actually failing at something that you've actually put a lot of effort into doing. And so you're not making an effort, because if you don't make an effort and you fail, then you can always tell yourself it was just because you didn't make enough of an effort to, like, you didn't do enough, you didn't do your homework, you didn't read the curriculum, you didn't do what you should have done in order to pass. So of course you failed, and so you can tell yourself that, and but you can't do that if you've actually done everything that you need to do in order to pass. Like if you've read everything and prepared for the exam and you fail, then the only one you can blame for failing is yourself. And then you have to just realize that you suck and that you're not good at it and that you're not smart enough or something. And that's kind of this the hard realization that most people, and this is very normal to do, like I do it, we all do it. It's a kind of a defense mechanism in order to make ourselves feel better, is to just not make an effort, because when we don't make an effort, then there's nothing to lose if we fail. And so I'm getting that the blockage that you have in order to achieve success, the blockage is that you're kind of sabotaging it for yourself. And I think you know that. I think you do it subconsciously, but I think you consciously also, like, you're aware that you do it. You're aware that you don't make an effort, that you are not, that you're not giving it your all, that you're not doing everything that you can in order to achieve this goal. So I think also with this card here, it's 5 of Swords reversed, but it says competition here, and I think you do know that there is, like, I think you're afraid of the competition. You're afraid that you won't make it, that you won't make the cut, and so you kind of give up before even trying, because you're afraid that it won't. I'm just getting this feeling that you're underachieving, and maybe you've always been a bit of an underachiever, but you've been that way as like, and it's been more of a defense mechanism, really, because I think you do know that, like, and this is kind of this paradox, I think. You know there's no competition. And I know that's the opposite of what I just said, but I think the thing about competition is more something that you say, that you tell yourself, like you're like I think you know that, like, if you actually gave it everything that you've got, like if you actually put all the effort that you could into achieving your goal, if you did that, I think you know that you could eliminate the competition. But that's also what frightens you, because in a way you don't want to succeed at it. And so it's, I just think you need to find out what you want, find out if the goal that you've set for yourself, if that's actually a goal that you want in your life, if it's actually and maybe also find out why you're underachieving, and maybe find out if you're underachieving because you really don't want to do anything that maybe draws attention to yourself and defines you as a person. And you might want to, maybe it's because you want to figure out who you are on your own, and you want to define yourself first before you go out and do something that will define you for the rest of your life. And maybe you want to be sure beforehand, sure that what you achieve, what success you achieve, is actually in alignment with who you are. And so if it's going to define you for the rest of your life, it better be the right thing. And I get that. I completely understand. And so, yeah, I think you need to do some soul searching, find out who you are and what you want, and what you want to define, what thing you want to do in life that will define you as a person. What could that be, and what should that be? And like find that. Yeah, that's all I have for you. Group number 3. I hope this reading made sense. I hope it was helpful. And if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 4. You chose this Rider-Waite tarot deck, and so I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So group number 4. What's blocking group number 4 from achieving success? I am getting something about panic attacks, or something about anxiety, depression, something like I'm just getting this feeling that you're not seeing things clearly right now. It's kind of as if it's a bit like you have this brain fog or something where everything's unclear. There's also something about maybe some loss of consciousness. And it's probably because of the panic attacks. Some of you, like, I know this might not resonate with all of you, but some of you might have these panic attacks where you lose consciousness or lose the sense of reality in a way, where maybe some of you have been afraid that you were getting psychotic, or that you were losing your memory, or losing something, or just losing it. Like I'm just getting this. Maybe it's not. Maybe this doesn't resonate with all of you, but it's coming in quite strong. That I think what's blocking you from achieving success is that you're not able to see the path clearly right now, and you might need to focus on yourself. You might need to get that sorted out first, before you can see clearly what direction you're supposed to be going. And I'm also getting this strong message that whatever mental health issue you might be dealing with right now, it's temporary. It's going to go away. So I'm just getting this feeling that some of you are you're planning your life with this in mind. Like you might be thinking of like some of you might be thinking of quitting your job or dropping out of school, or maybe you're thinking of like applying for a job that's different than your old job because you're dealing with something like panic attacks now, and so you're sort of planning your future with that in mind. You're planning to get a job or something where there's like space for you to have these panic attacks, and where it doesn't, like, maybe you're also thinking of eliminating some of the stress you have in your life, and that's a good thing. And so you might be thinking of applying for a job that's less stressful than your old job, because maybe you're afraid that the stress of your job is triggering you to have these panic attacks, or triggering your mental health in some way. And so you're maybe thinking of going in a different direction because of this. But don't make any rash decisions, because it's temporary. It's not permanent. It's not going to be something that will affect the rest of your life, and so don't make any decisions based on that. I'm also getting that some of you are thinking of becoming like artists or writers or songwriters, and I think you should do that. It's a good idea to do that. I think you could be good at it. But don't do it just because don't become self-employed just because you're afraid that your mental health will get in the way of your of a job where you're employed like by someone else, like don't choose that path because you feel like you have to. Don't choose to become a writer or a songwriter or some kind of artist or writer or whatever, just because it gives you the freedom to be mentally ill, or that kind of, it doesn't like, that's not really my point, but it didn't really come out the way I wanted it. But I'm just getting this feeling that you might be doing it for the wrong reasons. Like you should become an artist if that's your passion, if that's what you want to do. Like if it's something that you're passionate about. Don't do it just because you feel like that's the only thing that you can do. Like, don't limit yourself to only being able to be self-employed because you feel like no one will hire you because you have a mental health issue or something like that. Because it's temporary. It might feel very permanent right now. It might feel like it's something that you will be struggling with the rest of your life. Maybe you are losing some hope that it will go away, but I'm very certain that it will. And so don't limit yourself. Like that's just like don't close any doors just because you feel like you're not capable because of something you're dealing with. Because you're very capable. And this is just a temporary thing. It's a bump in the road. So don't also, like, I still think you should be a writer. I think you could be really good at it, but I think you will write something great as soon as it becomes a passion project, as soon as it becomes something that you don't rely on, when there's no stakes at play, like when there's no when you can't lose anything, because if you feel like you're in a corner right now, you're cornered, you don't feel like you fit in any work field, like you don't feel like you don't feel fit for a normal job, or at least that's kind of the vibe I'm getting for some of you. Don't feel like you have to do something different, like writing a book, because then you will have to rely too much on it to be like it will be too much of a burden for you. There will be like you will feel like it has to work out, like it can't fail, because like it's your only option in a way, like, or maybe you feel that way, that it's the only option for you. And if you feel that way, then the book will not be good. Like you will have written the book out of a negative emotion, out of fear and anxiety, out of you will be writing it at gunpoint, and it will be like you will be the writers, the readers of the book, they will be able to sense that it was written at gunpoint. They will sense that the writer who wrote the book was not enjoying themselves while writing it, and so it's. I'm just getting that you need to maybe find something else to do, and keep your creative project as a side project, where you are secured by something else and you feel stable, and it's coming from a different place. It's not coming from a place of need, it's coming from a place of play. But let's shuffle the cards. Ace of Pentacles. I am getting that you are sitting on a gold mine. you have an idea right now that is very likely to become successful, and it could be a creative idea like a book, or a song, or a painting. But it still makes me feel that with the Wheel of Fortune reversed here as well, it seems as if it relies a lot on luck and on uncertainty and on the unknown. Like with the Wheel of Fortune, like you spin the wheel and you don't know where the wheel will land, and that's the name of the game. That's just how it is. You can't change the game, and that's kind of the feeling I'm getting here, where when we do something creative, when we write a book or create a painting or do something like that, something creative, we never really know what's going to gain us success. What's the thing that like sometimes we can write like most authors have written a lot of books before they wrote that one book that gave them a lot of success. Like and they had to try and fail a lot of times before that happened. And sometimes we don't even know what's going to be the successful book. We can write a lot of books and we can feel like these are good books, and then maybe we will one day write a book that we don't actually like that well. Like maybe we like the other books that we wrote much more, but then we write some kind of chick flick or something and we think nothing of it, and we think, well, just fuck it, let's just try it out and see how it goes, and then that book defeats all the odds and becomes a huge success, and we like it we never know what's and that's like, we can't be in control of our own success when we do something creative like writing or painting or doing something like that, because we never really know what the audience will like, because it's unknown to us. It's and it's very much up to chance, up to just like it's very much driven by luck, pure luck. People can write the best books and they will never be successful with them. Like that's also why some books are why some great books didn't get any success in the writer's lifetime, and then like suddenly like many years after the writer is even has died, like a lot of years after that, then suddenly someone stumbles upon the book and realizes, well, that was a good book. Why didn't anyone realize that before? And it's just because it's pure luck. It's some books just go under the radar without like some and it's not necessarily the quality of the book. You can write a lot of really good books and not get any recognition, and people and other authors can write shitty books and get a a lot more fame, and it's just how it is. And it's so I think that's kind of why you have to maybe find a trade, something that you can fall back on if you don't succeed with a book or with a creative project, because it's such an unknown. It's so much up to chance whether you make it as an author or not, and so like I think you should try it, of course. Of course you should try to beat the odds and see if you can, but there is a very great possibility that you won't, and that's not me trying to discourage you at all. It's just the facts, really. It's 1 in a million sometimes, and so it's a good thing to not rely completely on getting success as an author or as an artist, and find some kind of trade that you can fall back on, and yeah, I know that's kind of a lame thing to say, because of course I want to say that you should follow your dreams and nothing will stop you, and if you just follow your dreams, everything will come to you and all of that, and maybe it will, maybe it won't, but I'm just the general message is that it's much more likely that you will actually make it as an author or an artist if you don't put all the apples in one basket, because that will kind of take out the creativity, that will drain it from creativity, inspiration, and intuition. It will make you, like if you are planning on writing a book, if you write it with that in mind, that you have to succeed as an author, that it's your only option here in life, that it's all or nothing for you, and so everything is at play, and if you think that way, it will be very hard to actually succeed as an author, because you will write the book with success in mind instead of passion, and so you will maybe make some decisions along the way while you're writing the book, where you will think more in terms of success, and you will think more of the audience, think more like what pleases the audience, what does the audience want, what will lead to success, and you will end up draining the book from all creativity, because you are more writing it for the audience. You're more instead of for yourself, and you're more focused on pleasing people and achieving success, and people will pick up on that when they read the book. They will and yeah, so I don't know what's blocking group number 4 from achieving success. Queen of Swords. there is something about you maybe needing to get out of your head. Stop overthinking things. Stop stressing over things and just let things happen. And follow your intuition more, and follow your instinct. Don't over rationalize things. Don't like, for instance, if you're thinking of writing a book, which might only resonate with a few of you, but whatever, if you're thinking of that, then don't follow like a cheat sheet. Like, don't follow any manuals, or like don't Google like how to write a bestseller novel or something. Like, don't approach the book in a rational way. Don't try to copy other people who had success and try to do the same as them in order to get success. Don't write the book as if there's like an instruction book. Like, it's not a piece of furniture. It's not it's like there's no recipe for writing a bestseller, and so we shouldn't try to follow some recipe in order to gain the most success. It's just much better to just see where it goes. Like, start writing and just don't have it all figured out before you start writing. Don't make like a mind map, or don't brainstorm, or don't have like everything figured out with the characters. Don't have like character sheets of everyone in the book, and like and a storyline and everything like that, even though it's a good idea to do those things, but it can be a bit limiting for the creative process when we do that, because maybe it's just much more effective to just start writing and see how it goes, and see where the story leads you, and allow it to write itself. Allow the book to set the course. Allow it to show you the direction it wants to go. Like, try to. So sometimes it helps to personify the book, like act as if the book has a mind of its own, and just go with it. Like ride the waves of it. See if you can just allow it to allow the book to unfold on its own, where it wants to go, and yeah. Be the voice of the book that wants to be written. Give the book a voice instead of the other way around. Like, I don't know. give the book a voice. I mean, did I say it the other way around? I don't know. But try to just go with it. See where it goes. Sometimes it's the best way. Sometimes we just need to start writing instead of preparing, because over preparing things does have a tendency to ruin it, and it also makes us more unmotivated to actually write the book if everything is figured out beforehand. Because what's the point of writing the book if everything is already if there's no mystery there to uncover? Like there's I don't know. What's blocking group number 4 from achieving success? Queen of Wands. I am getting something here where, because of the black cat here, it kind of makes me think of being unlucky, not having luck, and that might be something that has been a problem for you in the past. Maybe you have always felt quite unlucky, like things just haven't turned out the way you wanted them to, and maybe things have been getting in the way of you achieving your goal or your success, and it might have been the most random things that have gotten in the way, and it might have made you feel like you that you were unlucky, that you didn't have the luck on your side. And maybe you need to change that mindset. And I'm not saying that it's not true. Like maybe you have been very unfortunate in the past, and maybe there has. I'm not saying that it's not true. Like it might be very true. Maybe you have been in a lot of situations where you were very unlucky, but maybe this is kind of blocking you from achieving success, because maybe you expect bad things to happen. Maybe you expect things to go sideways. Maybe you expect to have bad luck all the time, and so maybe you are kind of discouraged from doing anything, because you might feel like, oh, I don't want to start doing that because I know that it's just going to go sideways, and I know that everything is just going to be horrible because I'm just unlucky in that way. Like, and maybe you need to stop having that mindset, because maybe you just need to start expecting good things to happen to you. I know that's easier said than done, but maybe start expecting things to go your way. Expect luck. Expect to have good luck. Expect that that you will be that one in a million person, that like, expect that instead of expecting things to just never ever go your way. And maybe if you change that outlook, maybe good things will start happening to you, and maybe they won't. Maybe there will still be a lot of unlucky things that will happen. But again, like, if you don't try, you won't succeed. And so if you don't try because you're afraid that you won't succeed, then that's just as bad as trying and not succeeding. Like, it's the same outcome. You still don't succeed. Like, so maybe take that leap of faith sometimes and just see if you just see how it goes. Ride the wave and see if it takes you somewhere nice, and expect the wave to take you somewhere nice, and don't expect to end up in a storm. And yeah, I think your blockage might be your mindset. It might be that you have a tendency to be a bit more pessimistic, and you might call it realistic and not pessimistic. And I get that. I'm kind of the same way, but you might need to start being more optimistic and start looking at life as something that actually, like, start looking at it in a positive way, and don't expect everything to go sideways. Yeah, I guess that's all I have for you, group number 4. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 5. You chose this Tarot de Marseille tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So, okay, group number 5. The people who will choose group number 5, what's blocking them from achieving their goal or achieving success? I am getting something about children. I don't know if it's your children, if some of you have children, or if it's like some children in your life. Maybe you work with children, like babysitting, or maybe some, I don't know, but I'm just getting that there's something about children and caring for children or something like that, and maybe it's taking up too much of your time. And maybe you need, there's also something about maybe wanting children, and maybe some of you want children, and maybe the whole idea of getting children, and like, maybe that's kind of getting in the way of you achieving your goal or achieving success, because because you're preoccupied with this idea of having children, or maybe you feel like your biological clock is ticking or something, and you need to find someone that you can like partner up with, like a love partner. Maybe you are in a relationship, but some of you might, like, even if you're single, you might be so preoccupied with getting in some kind of relationship so that you can build up something, so that you can have children and have a family of your own. And maybe some of you don't feel like this is actually something that's preoccupying your brain that much, but I think subconsciously it is kind of getting in the way. It's kind of a blockage. But yeah, it's something about children. That was kind of something I got before, but I'm not sure if it resonates with all of you. Seven of Swords here. I think some of you feel like you're like, this card always makes me think of a lone wolf, someone who goes it alone, a single person, and so I think you are, some of you are very some of you feel like you're cheating the system, or not cheating the system, but just cheating life in general. Maybe because you don't want children, and so you're, or maybe just because you don't have any children, and maybe you feel like you're being kind of late in that, like you're late in the game, so you have to hurry up, or maybe you feel like there's maybe also some kind of pressure from family and friends, that's really bothering you right now, that people expect you to have children, they expect you to have a family. And so I am getting that for some of you, you might feel a bit rushed into dating, or into I don't know, that you feel like you should, I'm also just getting something about time. Like, I think a lot of what's blocking you right now is the fact that you feel like you're running out of time, that you're late in the game, and maybe it doesn't have anything to do with children. That was just something like a buzzword that came up while I was channeling, but it could also have something to do with work, or with your studies, or something where you feel like you're late in the game, like everyone else who's doing the same thing as you is a lot younger than you, or something where you feel like you're a bit older than the others, and that you don't have your life in order, that you need to rush that you should have gotten more success in life by now. Like you feel like maybe you feel like you have a goal, and maybe you've had a goal for a long time, but you haven't achieved it. So it's a long time coming. It's something where you feel like it should have happened years ago, but it didn't. And so you feel like time is kind of running out on this. And maybe some of you are afraid that it won't happen. Maybe there's also something about, like, I'm getting something about you being quite private, a very private person, and so I'm getting something about you. Some of you may be having trust issues. You don't trust people easily. You don't open up to people easily. You're kind of withdrawn. But there's also something about you. Some of you might move around a lot, from place to place, and like you might live in an apartment for 3 years, and then you move to a different city, and live there for like 1 year, and then you move to another city and live there for 3 years, and then that might be a cycle that keeps continuing. And maybe you always move away when you feel like the place that you live in becomes too narrow, when you can't be private anymore, like when you feel like you can run into people that you know in the grocery store, and like I think you might have some kind of claustrophobic feeling as soon as the place that you live in becomes too narrow, when you feel like you can't move freely, when you can't go out without people knowing you in the street, and this might be blocking, like if it resonates with you, it might be what's blocking you from achieving success, because of course when we achieve success, it's kind of this process where we have to build it up from the ground up, and if we move around a lot, and then it can be hard to build it up, because it needs time, and we need to be like in the same place, sort of. So there is something about running away. Maybe also run away whenever things get a bit too tough. And maybe you've dropped out of school a few times, or quit a job a few times because it became too tough or too uncomfortable, or maybe just too familiar. Like maybe the feeling of going to work or going to class with people that know you a bit too well, it might give you that claustrophobic feeling, and so I think this continuing need of moving around might be what's blocking you. Or this need of changing surroundings, changing, not being in the same place for too long. There's also something about maybe getting bored too easily with things. And maybe you're the kind of person who performs best when you're under pressure or when you are challenged. And so if you work in the same place for a long time, it might start becoming too familiar. And by familiar, I mean not challenging enough. Like it starts becoming too easy. Like and so maybe you start looking for a new challenge in a different place where you can start afresh, a different place, which is something that maybe you really work very well in, but it's something that's other people's worst nightmare. Like many other people find it very difficult to start in a new place and like start a new job and start in a new school and like things like that. It's very difficult for most people because it's always hard to be the new guy, the new and having to learn everything from scratch and having to but maybe you like it, or some of you might like this feeling of being in an unknown area where you have to where it's more of a challenge for you, where you need to learn everything from scratch, and maybe also in a place where no one knows you, and so you can be whoever you want to be. And maybe that's kind of the thing here. Like maybe you really enjoy this feeling of the freedom of just being able to show to be whoever you want to be. And so when you start a new place, you can just be whoever you want to be, because they don't know you yet. And so whenever they start to know you, you can move on and start a new place and be in control of the narrative. Maybe you have a hard time letting go of the control of your own narrative. Maybe this kind of makes me think of someone who was bullied in school. I don't know if you were, but some of you might have been. And so this could be a defense mechanism. It could be something where you feel like you're more in control when you're in control of the narrative, because you've been bullied, or some of you might have been bullied, and so back then you had no control over the narrative. People could just say things about you and make up stories about you, and you were not in control over it. And so it might be something that you do to gain control. Some of you might have moved from school to school as well, back when you were a child. Like maybe you were bullied in a school and then your parents moved you to a different school, and maybe you learned back then this kind of that maybe you learned to escape back then, like how to escape an uncomfortable situation by just moving around and like when people started bullying you instead of then maybe it kind of made you feel that the only solution to bullying is to just move away from the bullies and start afresh somewhere else, instead of just facing it and changing the narrative and changing people's opinion of you. If people get the wrong opinion of you, to actually do something to change it, instead of just escaping it. I don't know. But I think if you want to achieve success, I think you need to stay in the same place for a longer time. You might move away right while you're building up your success, and so you keep building up success, but like right before you actually achieve it, it all breaks down because you move to a different place where you start afresh and start building your success again, and then it just then you kind of just leave it and move on to a different place and start. And so it's I don't think you actually have a problem achieving success. I think you could achieve success. I think your problem is that you leave it behind and move on to something else. And so you build it up and then leave it behind to start building something new up somewhere else. And so you just need to stick with it and not quit it. Because you're very capable of achieving the success that you want. But it's just that you either try to escape it by moving forward, or you get bored with it and then move to a new challenge right before you actually achieve the success. So with the Hanged Man reversed, I think you need to start yes, you need to see things through. You need to finish things. Don't leave them hanging. You have too many things that you've left hanging, and that could also be people in your life that you've left hanging. People who might have actually who might have come to you and wanted a friendship with you or a relationship with you, but you might have just walked away from the situation and never returned. And maybe there's too many loose ends in the past, and you might need to go back and pick them up instead of starting something new. Maybe see if you can finish some of the projects, but also reconnect with some of the people from the past. But also just like look back and see if there's some unfinished projects from the past that you started but didn't finish, and maybe think of going back and finishing them. 7 of Wands. So there's also something about passivity. You might you might have a hard time unlocking your activity. Like you might have a hard time motivating yourself to do things. Maybe you need other people to motivate you in order to do things. Maybe you're the type of person who's really good at writing, but you only write if you have an essay, or if, like from school, like if your teacher has given you an essay that you need to write, or if you have some kind of assignment from school, some paper that you need to write, but maybe you can't motivate yourself into writing something. Like you need a teacher to tell you what to write in order to write it. Like you can't just, it seems as if you might have a blockage that blocks you from just writing out of your own passion, out of your own motivation, from just your own, also for your own pleasure, like writing just for yourself, for your own pleasure, so there could also be something here about pleasure and enjoyment, that you're not prioritizing your own enjoyment. Or maybe you are. Maybe you're, I don't know. Because I think you do, like if you don't enjoy doing something, you don't do it. And so, yeah, I think you might actually prioritize your own enjoyment a bit too much, where you can't really motivate yourself into doing anything unless it brings you joy, unless it gives you pleasure. And a lot of things don't give us pleasure, but we have to do it anyways. But I don't know. But I'm also getting something about you maybe that your secrecy is also your Achilles heel in this, because I think you push people away. Maybe because you don't like. I think you have high. I think you put yourself a bit on a pedestal, which is a fine thing. We all do it. That's very normal. It's very human to put ourselves on a pedestal and look down on other people and see ourselves as something special, as something unique, and as something better than others. And it's very normal. But I think you might there's this. I think you might push people away because you're a bit afraid of letting people in on your secrets. Like you don't want to share your knowledge with others. I don't know if that resonates with all of you, but it might resonate with some of you. If it doesn't resonate, then then just ignore it. But I think some of you don't like to share your knowledge with others. Maybe you're afraid that people will copy you, or if they will steal from you. Like you might have a bit of like paranoia when it comes to other people. You might be afraid of sharing too much with people because you're afraid that they will abuse your trust and use the things that you've shared with them. And maybe you have had some situations in the past where some people stole something from you, where you shared like a paper with someone and then someone took the idea and wrote a paper on it themselves. And so you might have, maybe you have been burned by someone in the past, and so now you don't want to share anything with anyone, and so you might keep a lot of things secret from other people because you don't want them to steal it from you. But this might be blocking your success because maybe sharing your ideas and knowledge and stuff like that, sharing that with other people could actually be a good thing. It could give you it could both give you feedback from other people, which could actually end up being fruitful and give your ideas even more fruit, whatever. But it could also open up some doors for collaborations, for people working with you on projects, people helping you with projects, and working together in order to achieve a goal. And so maybe it wouldn't be a bad thing to work with others and getting a partner that you could share the load with, that you could maybe you don't see yourself as a team player. Maybe you always felt like it was like that maybe you felt like it was a chore to work in teams back when you were in school, and so now you feel like that's like the worst thing in the world is to work in teams because you always end up doing everything on your own anyways, and so what's the point of working in a team or something like that. But maybe you need to get some good experiences. Maybe you just had really bad experiences, but maybe that's all going to change from now on. And so maybe you will actually find like a good team that will actually give you something, that will actually help you develop your ideas and help you materialize your ideas. And so maybe open up to that opportunity or that possibility that maybe you could one day collaborate with other people. And by doing that, achieving success. So yeah. Also, if it's really hard for you to motivate yourself, it could be a really good thing to work in teams, because then you have teammates that will keep an eye on you and make sure that you actually do the thing that you're supposed to do. And sometimes it's hard to motivate ourselves when we are a lone wolf, when we are on our own and working alone like it's a really good idea that, like, in our head, it's a really good idea to work alone. Like we can see all the pros by working alone. Like there's so many pros and not many cons at all, and it just seems like the best thing to work alone. But in reality, it never really works out, because we end up in this old pattern that keeps repeating itself, where we just end up not actually doing what we're supposed to be doing, where we don't actually motivate ourselves to do it, and then we end up doing it the day of the deadline, and we end up procrastinating until then, and we end up because it's so easy to do that when we work alone. It's so easy to when we are our own boss, and we can just I don't know what my point is, but I just think that maybe you should consider teaming up with someone else, and not going it alone, not working alone, because I think that would help you achieve success. So yeah, but that's all I have for you, group number 5. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 6. You chose this Tarot of Mermaids tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling, and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So, okay, group number 6. Group number 6. The people who will choose group number 6. What's blocking them from achieving their goal? What's blocking them from achieving success? I am getting something about some of you might have some health issues, and it seems as if those health issues are chronic, so they are not going to go away, or not in the near future, at least. Like some of you have some chronic illness, some autoimmune disease, or something where it's of course affecting you, and that's of course, like, I'm very sorry for you that you're going through that, but I am getting that I think for some of you, like, if this resonates with you, that you have some illness, some chronic illness, I think you need to come to terms with it, and you need to accept that it might be blocking you from achieving success or achieving your goal. Not that you won't achieve your goal or success, but maybe you have put too much pressure on yourself. Maybe your goal in life is just a bit too big. And I think, like, we should all have big goals, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think right now you need kindness from yourself. Like, you need to be kinder to yourself. You need to cut yourself some slack here, because it's not important. What you want to achieve is not important. I'm sorry, I know that might sound but like, it's not important if you don't have yourself, like if you need to focus on yourself. You need to focus on your own health, and you need to you can't overwork yourself, because overworking yourself, it will just make your illness worse. And it's just so much more important to live a good life. You can have a good life even though you have this illness. It's not like it's going to but only if you become kinder to yourself and cut yourself some slack. Because it's fine to have a goal. It's fine to plan. It's perfectly fine to plan for the future and have some big goal in mind, but you need to be able to picture yourself in that as well. Like you need to, and do you want to, like, is it so important to achieve this goal or achieve success? Is it so important that you will risk your own health in order to do so? I'm just getting that you're here with the Queen of Swords. You're too much in your head. You need to reconnect with your body. You are not in connection, like you're not connected to your body. You're not listening to your body, and it's really important that you start listening to it. And you need to listen when your body wants a break. I know we have all, like, there is like this whole spiritual community that's based on this mumbo jumbo of being able to control your body with your mind. And of course you can't do that. It's not like we are, the mind is connected to the body, but I don't know if you are affected by this, and I don't like, but there are many spiritual people who believe that if they just ignore their body, then they can become healthy. Like if they just tell themselves that I don't have breast cancer, then the breast cancer will just go away, and then everything will be fine. But it doesn't work that way. And I know this sounds condescending, like it really does, I know. And I don't even know if you believe in that sort of thing, but my point is just that we can't just ignore our body and then we will be healthy. And like, we can't just fight through it and just go to work and act as if nothing is wrong with us, and then magically nothing will be wrong because we believe it. And so we can believe it into reality, and we can manifest health, good health, into reality by just thinking that we are perfectly healthy. But it doesn't work that way. Or at least I don't believe that. But maybe you do, and if you do, you're allowed to believe that as well. I don't have the answers. Maybe it works for you, maybe it doesn't. But my point is just that I think it would be a better approach to listen to your body. If your body is hurting, try to ask your body what it needs. Sometimes, or try to figure out what, like, if your body is, like, if you're really tired, then take a nap. Especially if you have a chronic illness, then don't ignore those signs that your body is giving you, because your body is giving you those signs for a reason. Your body gets tired for a reason. You get aches for a reason. Body aches are signals. They are, like, if we have an ache in our in a muscle in our arm, it is aching because it's giving us a signal that we should stop using that shitty arm because it needs rest right now, because we fucked it up, because we did something stupid with it. And that's a sign, it's a signal that I'm just getting here that, like, you need to listen to the signals that your body is giving you. Don't ignore them. Don't just push through the pain. No one will give you a medal for forcing through your pain. Like, there isn't much glory to get from it. It's we believe that we are, like, some of, I think we all have felt this way, where we felt like a hero because we went to work even though we were feeling shitty, and then we felt good about ourselves because we felt like, oh, I'm a hero, I'm doing this even though I'm not physically capable, but I'm doing it anyways because I'm so tough. But really, it's not tough, it's just stupid. It's just, it's not good. It's not doing anyone good, and you won't get a medal for it. Like, no one will even notice it. And so it's really a lot of effort for nothing. And so I'm just getting this feeling here that you need to, group number 6, you need to rest, listen to your body. Don't be a hero. Don't force through the pain. Don't test the limit all the time. Sometimes it's okay to just let go and listen to your body and just rest, and okay, yeah, then you might not achieve your goal or achieve success in life, or maybe you will, but maybe the main goal should just be to feel good, to have what's the point of living if you're constantly forcing through the pain? And and of course, if you have chronic pain, I'm not saying that, I'm sorry, this came out wrong. It's not like you need to just, like, there's no point of your life if you have chronic pain. It's not, that was not what I meant. But it's not, it can't be the point of your life to force through that pain and do things that are difficult for you because of your pain. Maybe just do whatever makes you happy, whatever you can do that can make like, don't set up some kind of goal or that's unachievable, because then you will just be running and running and running, and of course you might achieve that goal, but will it actually give you any joy? Will it actually be worth it in the end? And I don't know. Maybe it will. But I'm just like, for now, maybe rethink this in the future. But for now, I'm just getting that you just need to listen to your body and just don't overwork yourself. It's not worth it. I don't, and maybe in the future you can think of, like, maybe doing what you want to achieving what you want to achieve. But for now, I just feel like maybe calm down and don't stress too much, because stress is not going to help you. It's just going to make your illness accelerate. And I'm just getting this strong feeling that I don't want to, like, I don't want to preach this, like, it's not, but I'm just getting this feeling that if you overwork yourself now in order to achieve this goal of yours, you're going to regret it. You're going to regret overworking yourself. Not that anything bad will happen. I just think you will look back at it and think that it wasn't worth it. And maybe I'm also getting that you need to go out more, have more fun, meet with your friends, meet with your family, prioritize your relationships, your friendships. Also reach out to people for help or support. You don't need to go this alone. You don't need to be alone in this. Four of Wands. You need to go out, meet with people, meet with your family and friends. Celebrate life. Find meaning of life with the people around you. Like, the meaning of life is not to achieve some kind of great goal. It's not to achieve fame. It's not to achieve success. sometimes it's to be there for the people around us, to cherish our relationships and our friendships, and be there for others, and let other people be there for us. Sharing with others, sharing both the good and the bad with others, but sharing life with others, just. And with 5 of Cups, I think you might feel like you've burned some bridges, that there are certain things in the past, certain people in the past that you've lost communication to, but you really want to start talking to them again, but you feel like you've burned that bridge, like there's no way back, like they don't want anything to do with you, and like you feel like there's no going back to them. But I think that's maybe all in your head. I think they are very much open for you to come back to them, and reconnect with them. I think there are people from the past that need that where you need them, but they also need you. Some people might have, like there's maybe one person here, a friend of yours from the past, who stopped all communication with you, where you couldn't get a hold of on her or him, and you felt like this person just left you, and maybe you felt a bit rejected by this person. But I think there's more to this. There's more to the story. I think this person withdrew from you, but also I think this person withdrew from other people as well. I think this person just needed some time to process something that happened in their life, and I think it was very hard. And I think now, if you were to go start communication with this person again, I think they would tell you what happened, and I think it would help you understand why they withdrew from you. But I think it will also be really good for this person, because I think this person really needs to talk about it to someone. They really need some support. And so I think you could be the support for this person, but this person could also support you in the things that you are struggling with. And so I think it's just very important to build up your relationships and rebuild some relationships from the past, and just reconnect with people. So what's blocking group number 6? But I actually think that's all, because I don't think there's anything blocking you from success, but there is something you need to reconsider. I think you need to prioritize where maybe success is just not that important right now. this goal that you might have is maybe not that important. Maybe what's important right now is your health, your well-being, and the people in your life, the friendships and relationships you have in your life. And I think the goal can wait until you have that sorted out, or maybe just I think you need to rethink whether you really want success or not. Like maybe you really deep down just want a simple life, and there's nothing wrong with a simple life. A simple life is one of the greatest things, and wanting that, like there's nothing wrong with wanting that, and if that is your goal, then you can achieve that very easily. But just think about what you want. Think about your priorities, what you prioritize. Is it really so important to gain success? And yeah, so that's all I have for you. Group number 6. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye. Hello, group number 7. You chose this, the Cook's Tarot deck, and I will start with some channeling and then I will shuffle the cards for you. So, okay, group number 7, the people who will choose group number 7. What's blocking them from achieving success? There is something here about feelings of rejection. That's kind of something that came through. I think many of you are afraid of rejection. And so you are afraid of trying anything, and this doesn't have to have anything to do with like love or romance. It's I think it's just like the general feeling of rejection, of feeling like other people reject you, like getting rejected from school or from work, or sending in a job application and getting rejected. I think you have, some of you have this feeling of this fear, this anxiety when it comes to both rejection but also failure, like feeling like a failure, feeling like other people are choosing others over you, or feeling like you're not good enough. But I'm also getting that some of you might be afraid of going public with anything you do. Like you might be afraid of publishing anything because you're afraid of criticism. maybe you're even afraid of like making your Instagram account public because you're afraid that people will like that maybe you're a very private person, like you like to be private, you like to do everything in kind of in the shadows. Like maybe you're also the type who never posts anything on Facebook because maybe you're afraid that if you post something then people will get the wrong idea about you, or they will judge you for it, or maybe you're not even afraid of like direct criticism, like getting mean comments on Facebook. Like maybe that's not even the thing that scares you. Maybe you're more scared of the people who don't comment, the people who just judge you silently, or like I'm just getting that there's a fear of judgment, fear of criticism, fear of taking that leap of faith because you're afraid that people will judge you for it. Like if you publish something, you're afraid that people will judge you, people will look at you differently if you do it, or people will get the wrong idea. Maybe you also struggle with misunderstandings, like you might have felt very misunderstood in the past, like maybe also in your childhood, that people didn't quite get you, or people didn't understand you, and so maybe you're afraid that if you publish something, or if you go public with something, if you put something out there in the world, and like even if you get success, like even if you achieve success, that it will put you in the spotlight and make you a target for criticism. Six of Cups reversed. So I think there is like the reason why you are afraid of putting yourself out there is possibly because of your childhood. Maybe you were bullied in school, and so it might be haunting you to this day, where like you're still afraid of putting something out there, making something public, doing something in the public eye, because maybe you're even afraid of your old bullies seeing what you're like. Maybe you're afraid that if you, for instance, if you publish a book, that some of your old bullies will read that book and laugh at it and think it's funny, even if that book gains a huge success. Like even if you have even if you get thousands of people who actually love the book, you might still feel like, oh, but what if your old bullies actually laugh at it and think it's stupid, or think it's lame or ridiculous. Maybe you're also afraid of your family judging you, maybe your family was always quite I don't know. Maybe you feel like your family would disapprove or think that you're not capable of doing that, or that it's ridiculous that you even try, or something like that, where maybe you have had people around you in your childhood who really gave you low self-esteem and made you feel like whatever, like even if you did something great, then there were still people who would make fun of you and feel like and tell you that you were lame. Like maybe you had some episodes in your childhood where maybe some of you were really good at your schoolwork in school, and maybe the teacher really liked you because you were really good and really smart, and so maybe you did some papers in school that was really praised by your teachers and you got really good grades or something. But even even the thing that, like, even when you were doing something that was like really good, like even when you did something that you were proud of, something that was where you were actually achieving success, then there might have been people like jealous classmates or something like that who bullied you because you were an overachiever or something, because you were too smart, or because you were a nerd, or because you were lame for trying to do a good job. And for caring about your schoolwork. Like maybe people bullied you for caring about school, or something like that. I don't know. But I think you might have this feeling that even if you achieve success, then maybe there will still be people who will think you're lame for achieving success. Like I don't know. It's weird. But let's shuffle and see what's. That's too many cards. And see what's blocking you from achieving success. Group number 7. Nine of Swords reversed. So I think there might be something where you feel very alone in what you do, and I think you're kind of afraid of feeling alone, like for instance, if you were to publish a book, then you would be alone. You would be the only target. And that is very scary. That's a very scary thought. so maybe I don't know if that's a fear that you have, but maybe some of you do, or maybe it's a subconscious fear that you're afraid to stand alone and having to defend your work alone and being the only one who will get criticism, the only one who will have to stand up for the work that you've done. Like so maybe one of the solutions could be that it could be to team up with someone else. Like if you think of writing a book, then maybe think of writing it with some other people as well, like having other people with you, and or if you are thinking of some kind of project that you want to do, maybe team up with someone so that you can share the blame if it goes sideways. Like then the criticism of the public, that it will be shared. Like you will have shared criticism. You will be in the public eye, but you will be in the public eye with a group of people instead of just one person being a target. Then the target would be on all of you, and that would maybe be it would make it easier to deal with the criticism, to deal with the judgment of other people. So maybe one of the things that's subconsciously blocking you is this fear of doing something alone by yourself, that you will be the only one having responsibility for, when it being the only one responsible. Yeah. This also makes me think that maybe you need to look for success in something where you can work behind the scenes, like also where you can have some kind of scapegoat. Like for instance, if you're a good writer and you want to be a writer, but you don't want to write your own book because that's a bit too much pressure and too much responsibility and too much to bear on your own, to be a target on your own, it might scare you a bit. But maybe by being a ghostwriter, then you can share your gift of writing, but you're writing for someone else, and so if the book becomes bad, the blame is never on the ghostwriter. It's on the person writing the book. Like it's on the person on the cover. Also, like writing songs. If you write songs for someone else and it becomes a bad song and it gets criticism, then you will never be the target of criticism. It will be the singer, the person who bought the song from you. The person singing the song is the one who becomes the target. So maybe trying to find some other way where you can still do what you're talented at, but do it in a way where you don't, hey, okay, so also, like, if you think, I don't know if any of you want to be writers. I'm assuming something that might only resonate with a very few of you, but if you want to be a writer, but you don't want to put your name on it, you don't have to. So you can just write a book and use a pseudonym, use another name, a made up name. You don't have to use your own name, and so that could also be a solution where you can where you can just publish a book with a different name, so that it won't get traced to you. And then if it ends up as a disaster, you can just forget about it. It never act as if it never happened. But if it becomes a success, then you can go out and say, "Oh, it was me. I wrote it." Like so, it's kind of this. So it's kind of a win-win in a way. So maybe think of maybe if you're a private person but you still want to share, then just stay private, and publish everything under a different name. And it also gives like this mystery feeling, this mysterious feeling, and it can actually help you in your career to be where people can wonder, oh, who wrote it. So also, like, if, yeah, I don't know. But what's blocking group number 7 from achieving success? Ten of Wands. So maybe you need to maybe you need to take a step back. Don't do too many things at once. Maybe prioritize your time, and maybe also, like, maybe if you have a lot of different projects going on at once, maybe try to choose one and focus on that one, and put all the other ones on pause and just focus on one thing. Maybe put all the apples in one basket. Maybe that's all right. In this case, where I would say that's a bad idea. Like, I've also said that to one of the other groups, that they shouldn't do that. But I think in this case, I think it would be best actually to not spread your apples in many different baskets, because maybe it's a bit overwhelming right now, because I think you have a lot of options open, because I'm also getting that you have a lot of talents. You have a lot of different things that you're good at, and it seems as if it's kind of hard for you to choose just one, because you have so many things that you could potentially do. But maybe collecting those apples into one and just focus on one, and take a leap of faith with that one and just see how it goes. Because there is also that thing where we only get one shot. I know that sounds frightening, but that is kind of the reality sometimes, that we only get one shot in life, and like in achieving like grand success. Like there is, like, we only get one shot at that. And so if we want to achieve it, then it doesn't help if we put the apples in different baskets, because we only get one shot. So it's better to collect all the apples and put them in one, and just take the shot and see how it goes, and know that you put all the apples in that one shot, and so you don't have any apples left. Like you put them all, and you got, like, you gave it your all, and so like if that makes sense. Yeah, I guess it makes some sense, but I don't know. It's just maybe not worth it to spread it out when we get one shot. Yeah. But what's blocking group number 7 from achieving their goal or achieving success? There's also something about not comparing yourself to others. Don't look at other people and like think like, what do they have that I don't have, and why do they get it so easy? Why does things just come to other people so easily when it's so hard for me? Like don't get swallowed into that that kind of pessimistic outlook, because comparing yourself to others will never really it's not a good idea. And there's like there's no reason to be jealous of others, because in most situations we don't really know what's going on. Like we compare ourselves to others, but we only see what's on the surface. We don't really see what's underneath, and sometimes people paint a picture of them having a lot more success than they actually do. Like for instance on YouTube, like many YouTubers are buying subscribers, and so it appears that their channels are doing really great, and but in reality they aren't, or they are, but like they might not be as great as it appears. And so sometimes things aren't as they appear, and so it's just it just doesn't make sense to compare ourselves to others when other people can manipulate their own appearance. Like people, it's not a fair comparison, and we don't really know how they achieved their success, and so we can't really tell if like if yeah. So it's just like, don't compare yourself to others. That's just my point. So with the Knight of Swords, I am getting something about horses. So there might be something about, like, this is very specific for a few of you, but there could be something about horses. maybe some of you have horses, and maybe it's taking up too much of your time, and I don't know. But I'm also getting something about not being able to see that you have options. I think, like, I know that you have a lot of options. Like, you have all the baskets. You have a lot of unfinished projects and things maybe going on where you have a lot of ideas that you want to that like you have a lot of ideas that you would like to manifest into reality, but there is this pessimistic way of thinking where I think you feel like you don't have choices. Maybe you feel like other people have more choices than you, that you're limited to a few choices where I don't know what this is about. It's just something that came through. I'm also getting that I feel like you feel like you need to force your way through, where other people get it really easily. Like I said before, where and maybe again you just need to stop comparing yourself to others, because they might have gotten their success in a, like, they might not have played the same game as you, and so you shouldn't feel you shouldn't feel bad about yourself because you look at some players who aren't even playing the same game as you. You can't compare yourself to them. If they are playing baseball and you're playing basketball, you're playing two different games, and so you should compare yourself to those who are playing the same game as you. And even those who play the same game as you, they might be cheating. You might not be seeing it. They might be on steroids. They might be doing. You don't know. You don't know what they are. So so it's kind of. I'm just saying that you shouldn't feel like you shouldn't feel bad about the fact that you need to work a lot harder than others. You shouldn't feel like that it reflects badly on you, that there must be something wrong with you since you are here working very, very hard and other people are just getting it on a silver platter. But it's not. Just be proud of what you've achieved. Just be proud that you are working hard. Just be proud that you're not cheating, that you're doing it in a like. I don't know. Just don't compare yourself to others. With the Knight of Pentacles reversed, there is with a have patience. Rome wasn't built in a day. Things will happen in due time. And sometimes it's also about divine timing. Sometimes things will take time, and don't feel discouraged just because whatever you're doing, that you're not achieving success from it right away. Give it some years. I know that sounds like a long time, but don't just be patient with it. Allow it to grow in the pace that it's supposed to grow in. Nothing good comes from, we're not supposed to achieve success right away. No one, it doesn't, it's not good to, we know how, it's always, the best way to achieve fame is to work on doing what you're doing for many years, perfecting your art, perfecting your craft until it's something you're really proud of, and then having success, then having fame, then getting sometimes it's best that we achieve fame slowly, because then we can prepare ourselves for the fame, because then we can perfect our craft, then we can go through trial and error, doing, for instance, doing videos on YouTube. It's actually liberating in a way, to just be able to put out some crap. And if it's crappy, if I create a crappy video, then it won't be it's not a big deal, because I don't have that many subscribers and I don't get that many views, and it doesn't really matter. And so it would matter a lot more if I had 1 million subscribers. Then it would be a disaster if I made a crappy video. But it kind of makes, it's kind of, there is a good thing in being a small YouTuber, or a small artist in any way, where you don't have that much of an audience, because then you can fail, and no one will be watching. Very few people will see you fail. Whereas if you're famous, then everyone will watch you fail, and that will be a disaster. But my point is that we shouldn't want to have fame overnight, because fame overnight is the worst thing that can happen to someone, because first of all, they will get, people who get famous overnight through TikTok or whatever, they they peak, and then they go they they rise really quickly, but they also drop really quickly. People get tired of them really quickly. It's and so those who use years and years and years on getting a fan base throughout many years, they have a more loyal fan base, and it's just, I don't know, my point, what was my point? I don't know, but I'm just saying, it's good that we don't achieve success quickly. It's good that I don't know. Does it make sense? I don't know. I don't know. There's also something here about maybe, like, because this is someone delivering pizza, like, maybe don't, there's also no shame in having a part-time job, like delivering pizza or doing something like that. There's no shame in doing that on the side. And yeah, so that's all I have for you, group number 7. I hope this reading was helpful, and if it was, please subscribe to my channel, and I hope to see you in my next reading. Bye.